What?
Oh, I had I forgot to deactivate the intro, but then I was able to do it before it actually went live, so we're good. All right.
It's time to do the halftime with Drew and Andy tonight.
Yeah, a little out of form here. uh, you know,
Well, who would have
weird one.
thought that? Who would have thought that last night we're like, hey, guess what? Bajan is killing these guys. You know how many touches he got in the second half and overtime combined?
Was it
Drew,
not very many?
it was 3.
What? That is how it broke down? Oh my
Yeah, they
goodness.
decided to. Oh, what if our season was on the line and we stopped feeding it to the player who was literally
Dominating.
running through these motherfuckers' faces? Um,
Weird.
yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what um, what the roster construction looks like in the second half. Who comes out there? Obviously, this is a bit of a fun one. We're at 21-13. RIP Lions first half team total over betters. 211 yards, couldn't get over 13 and a half points. So that's
The blocked extra point was the difference.
yeah, blocked extra point, kind of
And then they
nappy
didn't go
there.
for 2. Why not go for 2? I thought that was
I
live
really I
football.
really thought it was like, hey, it seemed like that was a possibility. And we've already seen it from Shanny, although that fourth down was very short. I mean, both of these teams should just turn into the coach that never punts. Like, why does it matter? Like, winning is fun, but like, go work on your fourth down stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is very defense optional. Right now, the live total is 62, which means the second half total is 27 and a half. That's got to be the biggest number we've had in any primetime game all season. That is a huge number.
26s. Had some 26s.
You want to play the over? I mean, this is defense optional. Like, I'm only surprised that I'm kind of surprised we only had 34 points in the first half here. Like, some of those drives, there was a lot more time taken off the clock than I would have
that first drive by the Niners, that actually took like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So we've got there's 400.
And they've gotten progressively faster. Yeah. The downs, the missed field goal, the missed extra point. Yeah, they've left a lot of points on the field already. We should have closer to 40 points in this one. Yeah. 41.
This is one of those
44. We should have 44 points in this one.
Yeah, this is one of those where the actual answer is don't bet the second half, guys. Don't do it. Like there's really no telling what's going to happen. We might end up with a backup quarterback for the Lions. We might end up with a team just running up. But like, if you're going to bet it, we might as well bet the fun one, because the defenses, even if it is backups, the defenses are looking bad.
Well, which to you sounds more fun? Niners second half money line at 3-1 or over 27.5 at -117? I kind of want Niners money line second half. It feels like they're trying to send a little bit of a message here.
Yeah, right? Let's get weird with it.
Like they're relishing the spot, I feel like, to a degree. No, overs come down a hair. It's 114 now. Oh, the money line's drifting too. It's 315 now. Lions will get the ball first, but I have an inkling we'll at some point. I mean, it's only going to take one stop and one score for the Niners, and then everybody for the starting offense for the Lions take a seat. Starting defense for the Lions is not playing with effort because it feels like they don't want to get anyone hurt, and they also suck.
Yeah, I thought they were out. I thought they actually went with the backups.
All right, I'm going to play 315. These are the backups. You're right. They very good.
I know, you know what, they kind of are, because there's been so
they
much
are churn. Yeah.
These
are the backups. Half a stake for you.
Half and half. I'm going to play the spread as well.
Okay, nice. 6 plus 6.
If they you cover the spread, you don't get the money line, at least you break even. That's the move. And then you hope for the whole. Then you hope for the whole enchilada. So I got 6 plus 11, and just 3-1 for me. It's back to a flat 3-1. Our friends at Profit Exchange have some higher numbers up. If you want to offer, you think you were going to see the scoring, they have a 64.5 market you can offer into. They've got
Okay.
some second half money line offers for you. San Francisco minus 148, straight up on the whole money line, baby. This is a game that I might. We'll see how it's going.
Ooh, let's talk some
things
tennis.
I might
Charles
just go.
Stahl
I might
with
go
a
hang
great
with the wife.
question. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
good-
working this week? What's your status for the rest of the week? You got to work a little? Off Wednesday?
I'm working. No, really, I'm just like I have a dozen projects and small things and written stuff I need to get done. That I was like, this is the perfect week to do it because I had one meeting and one call today, and it was smooth as can be. So, yeah, it's a pretty.
It is, but I mean, I have small. It's pretty small bet. I bet.
Oh, you ended up playing the Lions? You played the Lions?
I bet the line. Well, I bet a -7. I bet a -14. I forgot how bad the defense was. It should have been all totals instead. I had the running back. I have the running back, the backup running back, at like
Has he
17
even
to 1
had
to
a
score
snap?
touchdown. He had 2 red zone carries. He almost got in, and then they gave it to Jameson Williams on 3rd down. I'm like, oh god. I mean, it was just small bets because I don't know what to.
Yeah,
I didn't really
Jameson Williams has a fun rushing line right now. 2 carries for -2 yards and a touchdown. I love that. All right, I don't have much more to say about this game. Let's talk about some other fun stuff. And Charles is the first one to bring it up, so let's go right there. Aussie Open preview. Probably a week from Wednesday. I'm guessing I'll just do my standard deal with Gil where we talk about the Aussie Open and more kind of complete thoughts. But I've been watching some tennis and it's fun. The United Cup is cooking right now. Andy, you catching any of that?
I have not. I've been busy. Golf starts this week, bud.
Oh, it does. Oh, so we're both in country club mode. Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I'll tell you what I've seen in tennis so far. First, I saw Belinda Bencic back, and I was like, hell yeah. I haven't seen Belinda Bencic play tennis in a long time. She's back from maternity leave. Do
you know if it was a natural birth or a C-section?
I wasn't there, so I can't really speak to that.
They didn't say anything? It makes a huge difference as far as your.
No clue.
Do you know how a C-section works? I mean, you're.
Oh, sure. They cut your abs.
I mean,
it's awful.
your core takes a long time to rehab from that, and tennis is a lot of core work. So I'm curious because I think that's what the problem was when Serena had hers, and she had to take such a.
Well, she had like a bunch of other medical complications.
She did. She had to take quite a bit of time off.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I can tell you this though. Bencic, she came back actually at the tail end of last year and played some warm-ups, had a real slow roll-up, and then played in a challenger and made it all the way to the finals before losing to Alicia Parks when she was a heavy favorite in the final. And then she came into this tournament in the United Cup, and she looked dynamite. And then she ran up against Jasmine Paolini. Paolini just obliterated her. So pretty clearly, Bencic still needs some time to get some form. But she was like 100 to 1 in some places too. She wasn't even listed at some places, a bunch of places. And I grabbed some super long shot prices on her. I wasn't impressed with the form I saw from Naomi Osaka so far. I've been medium impressed with the form I've seen from Rybakina so far. But the Australian Open is and will forever be Aryna Sabalenka's to lose, I think. And it's just a matter of kind of where Rybakina ends up on the draw and, how that affects the future pricing. Iga had her warm-up today, and she played an absolute 0, so that was no takeaways there. And then on the men's side, I think there's really only just Sinner and Alcaraz, and you got to figure out how to break up the equity there, and it's probably 60-40 Sinner. Sinner's surface and Sinner's serve is so much better. This surface is so much more attuned to Sinner's strengths compared to Alcaraz, so Alcaraz is going to need a little luck to get the victory here. I know he's got some new people on his team. He's working on his serves. I've heard, but I gotta generally think this is probably somewhere in the 65-ish% chance that Sinner wins, which means you can probably get him in like a decent price.
That is where golf and tennis overlap. You have so much of that. I fired another coach. I'm going with this guy, and this guy's going with this guy, and hell, we even have like a weird caddy situation this week. But yeah, it's always interesting because tennis, and again, the mechanics are very important in tennis as well, same as golf. And sometimes you do see people have to just switch up their teams altogether, and suddenly things click, or they just turn to shit. It's funny. There's I don't know if we've ever seen someone like, hey, I've got a new coach, I've got a new team, and then they're just about the same as they were right before that. It usually deviates one way or the other.
Mm.
And it's not always positive. You've seen some guys like take some bad swings.
Yeah. There is a balancing act between too much time off and not enough time off, for sure.
Like this is always a weird time.
No
with the
question.
Christmas break.
Like Zheng Xinwen pulled out of the United Cup because she wants more time to recover. Which, okay, a little worried about that.
I forgot Andy Murray is helping that. No,
dude, did you see Djokovic is playing doubles with Kyrgios?
Yeah, that's fun. That's like made for TV.
I love that. I love it. I can't wait to see that. I have no opinion on Kyrgios being a comeback story at all, but
he's a good doubles player.
Kind of interested to see that. And then yeah, I mean, like the women's side is wide open. That's the fun handicap, honestly. There's so many women who have a chance to make a run at this point. Pegula is out. Coco Gauff looks very good. I don't know. Pegula is probably going to play the Aussie, but I think she's dealing with an injury enough to where I would not back Pegula at all. Jack Draper, somebody mentioned for the men's side, he's also dealing with an injury. He pulled out of the United Cup, and that sounded kind of serious, actually. So I think he maybe just shows up for a paycheck and is an F factor in Melbourne. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I don't agree that Zverev should be priced under 10-1. I don't think he's a realistic factor. I don't agree that Djokovic should be priced under 5-1. I don't think he's
Are they going to play
factor.
best of 5 or best of 3?
Best of 5, yeah.
So it's best of 5?
Best of 5,
yeah, so I'd probably steer away from Zverev.
Steer clear of Sasha Zverev, yes.
I will always wait for the draw. I don't think either of these it's very conducive to be grabbing big numbers and hoping for the best with some of the top heaviness of it. But once the draw's out, like Drew said, there's going to be some girls that you're probably going to find a good quarter price on.
Oh, surely. Yeah. Surely.
There's
always 1 week quarter. There's always 1 week quarter because you can only put Sabalenka, Iga, and Rybakina in 3 quarters. And presumably Goff maybe gets to that level this year. I mean, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we're saying that come midseason because she looked freaking sharp in her warm-up.
I get so confused when you say Goff during a Lions game.
Goff. The Coco Goff, not
Coco,
Jason.
Not Jared.
Jared.
Let's call him Jason.
Jason. I worked with a Jason Goff, who's a nice guy.
Somebody did ask if we're doing golf content. Me and Noonan do a golf show every Tuesday. Doing one at 10 tomorrow. We're gonna go over that.
What are the stories you're most into? Scotty Scheffler injury?
I mean, it's kind of not a good tournament because it's just like a.
No, but like for like the 2025 season, like what should I be?
I mean,
on?
He'll be back. He'll be back in a month. It's fine. But yeah, it's always it's kind of a low key, slow start. They play the two Hawaiian tournaments. And I mean, this is legitimately a course I've played. This is not and of course, I shot like 110, but the winner's going to shoot like 30 under. It's just a putting contest.
Yeah.
You take some long shots, you enjoy watching golf, and maybe find a few edges on some matchups. But this is it's a tough one to start with the 2 in Hawaii. It is nice. The start time is nice though, because
good
it's not.
See our friend
West
Flash here. Shout out to Flash when we were in Vegas for Bet Bash. He was talking up Liverpool to win the Champions League, and I don't know if you've seen the table recently, Andy, but Liverpool stands alone at the top right now with a bullet.
Alone.
Did you see who's second?
Oh,
I'll give you 16 guesses.
Wolves.
Who's second right now in Champions League? Nope,
not Wolves. All right, let's see if I can do it in 16 guesses. Chelsea.
Nope.
Bournemouth.
No.
Sheffield Wednesday. They're not in the EPL.
Are they? No,
No, they're not. They're not. Norwich isn't up. God,
Wolves
I'm
is
running out of
17th, by the way. What else did you guess? Chelsea. Chelsea's
Burn-
4th.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth is 7th.
Tottenham, Man United.
Tottenham is 11th. Man U is 14th.
City isn't.
City is 6th right now.
All right. Who are my other teams? I used to watch more of this. Southampton's not up.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God! How can I?
I meant Premier League.
West Ham. Yeah. There's another.
West Ham is 13th. I meant Premier League. Yeah, you did. My son is correct. I was thinking of Premier League, not Champions League.
The Premier. It is Nottingham Forest.
It is Nottingham Forest.
You know how I got it?
It is Nottingham Forest.
This little tip from Craig Cooper. Multiple-time European Cup winners. They won it like back-to-back, like 50 years ago.
Dude, they're running white hot right now, and they just passed. Arsenal has a game in hand, so Arsenal's probably going to pass them.
Speaking of Bet Bash,
Nottingham looking very, very, very good.
Timothy Lawson with a glamour shot as a picture here. Look at him.
Nice.
It is where Robin Hood lives. We do need to get to Bet Bash.
Nottingham
that was
Forest.
fun. With all due respect to the people who run that sort of thing, I really didn't think it was going to be my cup of tea. I enjoyed Bet Bash immensely. It was so fun just talking to all these people that you've been talking to in the internet for years. They're all in just, hey, what if we got gambling Twitter together in a room, basically?
Yeah, like-minded people.
It was a ton of fun. I enjoyed all of it.
So far in this third quarter, by the way, the defense optional Niners have showed up, and no sign of stopping the machine that is the Lions offense. Goff, a superlative 14 of 16, Goff is his accuracy now is just on another level. And I know that a lot of the reason he is so successful with high completion percentage is because Ben Johnson is giving him very completable passes, and his receivers can generate ample separation, but
ample. And it's funny because let's take Patrick Mahomes and put him off in the alien category.
Oh, yeah,
but the fact that we have the fact that we have Josh Allen and Lamar doing what they're doing, and then on top of that, you have essentially Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow are having comparable seasons. They're not that far off. Like Jared Goff and Sam Darnold are having seasons with the record and the stats that are like MVP seasons some years. And they're like fifth and sixth fiddle, honestly. It's hilarious. Like they're having like the Matt Ryan year, essentially. They're both gonna have like 4,500 yards and 30 to 40 touchdowns. It's wild. It's like, oh, this is like the seventh best quarterback right now, which again, we're blessed.
That's wild, man. The AS says any New Year's Eve NBA. I will qualify this with I'm getting my freaking ass handed to me in the month of December betting the NBA. The NBA Cup has just completely wrecked all of the kind of softer angles that I use to bet this time of year, and so it has been
for the cup.
It has been not good. Like a historically poor month for me betting the NBA sides. I don't see a ton that looks super promising tomorrow. I have small-ish edges on the Lakers against the Cavs, the Bucks against the Pacers, and the Raptors against the Celtics, although I'm not touching the Raptors right now for anything. So I guess it's just going to be Lakers, Bucks for me tomorrow. And then on the first, the big edge is Brooklyn against Toronto. So hopefully Toronto does compete and cover against Boston, and then maybe they're a bit of a sell high against Brooklyn the next day. Next major edge is going to be maybe on the second, Golden State hosting Philly as a massive edge. So that'll be fun. Anyway, what are you doing for New Year's?
I don't know. I'm probably going to take it easy. I want to do taco night. I like tacos. Ooh. I got some good steak in the freezer I found. As much as I don't love frozen meat, but I found some good. It's Black Angus. It's from my father-in-law. I'm going to make some fajitas. This is what happens when you're 40. Like I don't live in town anymore. So like going out and getting real drunk for New Year's is like a big pain in the ass at this point. I might end up going out, but so far for sure fajitas and where did I go? Oh, I went up to my mom's. She got me a case of some New Glarus, some Spotted Cow, and I get some other beers. So,
Ooh.
but just get drunk at home. Is that so bad?
No.
Stay up. You know what the best part is? You watch the ball drop at 11 o'clock. Like just watch the East Coast one. Call it good. Like, hey, close enough. Like, Happy New Year's. Kiss the wife.
That's odd that we do that at 9 o'clock my time around my part. Yeah. We started celebrating early though, so we get a full 6 hours.
I'm just gonna drink all day.
Yeah, this
because I'm gonna work a little in the morning, but then I'm gonna take the rest of the day off and just start drinks and
no good.
I'm gonna be. I need to get
going for 2.
I need to get my golf stuff ready. Like essentially, it's for Wednesday is kind of busy for golf, and I'm actually a little behind on some of that. So,
yeah, this is a bummer that they couldn't have stopped them that they're down.
I do want to quick point out something that I thought was so fun.
Oh yeah, hit
it. You know, we have the BetSports Golf project that I've been working on for a while.
Yes, it's coming up on a year.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. It lets you build and save weighted models, weighted stat models, and you can just save them. You can download them to CSVs. So this is the first tournament where I have my model from last year and it's saved, and I can just plug in. So it's built. I can just put this year's field into it and be like, what did 2024 Andy think was going to work out? So far it is Sam Burns. And that's because I did weight some Bermuda putting, and he is pretty good on Bermuda putting. Although a sneaky name, a fun one, if you haven't paid attention to the off-season golf, Max Grazerman. Not a household name, but he's pretty bleeping good. Corn Ferry he grinded on the Corn Ferry and he took a big step forward. Honestly, he's not young. He's like 30, but he's I think he's gonna have a fun year. He's somebody I'll probably bet on this week too.
I like it. Other NBA thoughts? I played the Kings tonight. I laid it. I think the Kings are an abomination of a franchise for firing Mike Brown, but I think they should be favored by more against the Mavericks, who now are going to be without Doncic for a pretty long period of time here. Doncic, by the way,
are we lighting it?
Yeah, lighting the beam tonight for sure.
Okay.
I would say, I don't know if you've been following this, but the Doncic, I think, is effectively going to be eliminated from all NBA and MVP consideration. We're not going to see him again until February.
What happened to him?
Calf strain.
Because he's fat.
Yeah.
Do you remember how small? You remember how small he was when he came into the league?
Yeah, no question. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's not like Zion fat. He's put on muscle, but it's crazy how much bigger he got.
Yeah, I don't really have many other NBA thoughts other than I kind of don't really get what's going on right now.
I did want to mention, because Donnie Pickleball was in the chat, I did get pickleball paddles for Christmas.
Oh, look at that.
I got a set of 4, which does me a lot of fucking good in Minnesota in the middle of winter.
You don't have indoor pickleball?
No, any indoor space is very much reserved for tennis. Maybe there is somewhere, but I don't know. I guess I'm not in with the pickleball scene, but all the courts I've seen around town are just, converted tennis courts where it's like, did we really need 8 hard courts here next to the meat locker?
Did we talk about this last night, or did you weigh in on the recap of what you think the MVP vote split's going to be for NFL?
It's a weird weekend because Lamar might get put on ice for the second half. If that's a blowout, Josh Allen's going to start and not play. It sucks that teams will be penalized for that, or players will be penalized for their teams doing too well and being put in a position like that. So I honestly think Lamar has a leg up because he might end up playing the entire game and putting up a good stat line in a standalone Saturday afternoon game where him coming through and beating a team that they're favored by 1 trillion over is going to be viewed as, hey, we won the division because of Lamar today, if he has a good game. So I think he has a leg up in that. I still think it's going to be very split and it's going to be close. And I think Burrow's going to draw some votes, obviously.
Do you know what the case is for Josh Allen? Like,
I mean, just doing it with rookie wide receivers, bad wide receivers, injured wide receivers.
Had Amari Cooper for half the year.
Amari Cooper isn't. I mean, it's a name we know, but like Amari Cooper is
Flowers.
I know. I wonder how the Derrick Henry stuff affects that too. I think that's such a big part of it. Like, hey, you have another guy who was actually talked about in the MVP conversation on your team as well, helping you out. So it's kind of a horse apiece. Allen's numbers are right there with. I mean, their numbers are not that far apart. I think some of the perception is, the losses. The record's not as good. And I think it's good for him, for Lamar, because those losses were a long time ago. But motherfucker, you lost to the Raiders. If somebody remembers that and holds it against him, I'd vote for Josh. Like if I had to go back and look at
meanwhile, the Bills lost to the Ravens and got sincerely outplayed that day by Lamar Jackson. And his other loss to the Texans was because he couldn't complete a pass for a half. No one remembers that.
No. But they beat the Chiefs. They played they played the hell out of the Lions. I think it's very, very close.
I don't really see it, honestly, for Josh. I feel like it's his time, it's his turn type of narrative is gonna be pretty powerful. But like, I'm all right.
That's a dumb narrative, Drew, but it's fucking real.
It's very real. But he's been. He didn't get the 1 seed. Mahomes got him there by 2 wins. He doesn't have the stat. He's not leading in stats anywhere except for some ways you calculate EPA per play. He's got a higher number, but I think the total EPA is better.
No, any way you calculate EPA per play, he's leading.
Okay, well,
it's not a big lead, but like those two men are kind of in a class of their own as well.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Like if you're dominating in games and if you have like some weak competition, as opposed to if your defense is letting your opponent score on every drive, so you have to continue to force it. Like I think the total EPA generated by Lamar is more impressive than the EPA per play lead. And actually, no, EPA per dropback. Lamar's 0.31 and Josh is 0.25.
Who are you saying has a bad defense? Because the Ravens' defense has been good the last.
Now,
and the Bills' defense
is amazing, and the Bills' defense is a huge Achilles heel for them.
Yeah, recency, and that's what I'm saying. The recency of that is, in the middle of the year, one of these players was overcoming a bad defense, and it's flipped over the last month, the meaningful month, which is weird too. So I just it's going to be crazy close.
No, EPA per dropback, Lamar's well ahead. He's cleanly clear of the field here.
I don't know.
Let me per dropback 0.31. I mean, the Josh Allen, I had Josh at like 0.33. The rushing contributions for Josh are pretty solid. Total EPA.
Yeah, just EPA per like play.
Oh, nice.
I believe he was like 0.33. Yeah, and it's a career achievement thing. That's funny, but it is like 6 years in.
Oh, it's so dumb.
It's crazy. Somebody put up that draft class, and it was Allen, Darnold, Mayfield, and Lamar. And somebody's like, holy shit, this draft class actually kind of came around, didn't it? And somebody had a good picture of Josh Rosen like making a sad face or whatever. Because he was obviously didn't come out of that. But yeah, Darnold, Mayfield, and Josh Allen at times looked pretty rough early on in their careers.
Somehow Josh Allen has 0 lost fumbles, I guess, on rushing plays. I don't know.
Fumbles for quarterbacks, Drew. And I know people aren't going to go and spend the time and look at the context on every one, but on a handoff, if a running back does a bad job, that always gets charged to the quarterback. And those numbers are always inflated because of that. It sucks. Or a bad snap.
Yeah. And if you complete an 80-yard pass and the guy fumbles at the goal line, that's a negative EPA play for your quarterback. Yeah. Even anyway. No, Josh Allen total EPA is a little bit higher when you add rushing and passing. I'm seeing, but he's still like Jaden Daniels has had a higher rush EPA,
It's a
total
touchdown
EPA
catch.
generated.
I think Lamar has to catch a touchdown this week and kick an extra point.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, yeah, it's probably just going to be Josh, but I don't feel like it's as decided as the market thinks. We'll see.
I mean, how far? I thought he dropped quite a bit back to the pack, didn't he?
Oh, I saw.
Oh, he's 320.
Yeah, he's minus 3 something.
I thought it was like 150 plus one. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah,
Saquon even being in the conversation is silly. What he's done is amazing. But
did you hear or read?
There's like 5 quarterbacks who are so good.
Are they going to play him against the Giants? He needs 100 yards to break the all-time record.
It was, I don't remember which insider, if it was Rapp or Schefter, but he said I would be floored if he plays in this game.
Okay.
Because he got his 2,000. I think, hey, we let him have his 2,000 yards. The record would be nice, but so would winning a fucking Super Bowl. And even though, AJ Brown is a trillion times more important to that team, like he matters if he's injured. If it's, that would be a terrible look. So I think he sits. It's because if it were one of those things where he needed like 30 yards, it's one thing, but he needs like 100.
He's playing the Giants though.
I know, but
the Giants just gave up like 200 yards to Jonathan Taylor.
If he gets hurt, you look really dumb. You look so dumb. And this is a team. This is one of the
who's
teams,
not afraid of looking dumb? Nick Sirianni.
They have a good front office, and honestly, they're one of the most complete teams right now. Because how many great defenses can you name that are in the playoffs right now?
Only them, probably. Maybe Baltimore, if Baltimore continues.
Baltimore's looking better, but
yeah,
in the NFC especially,
that's the only one. I'll tell you this though, man. And we'll talk about this more on Wednesday's pod, which is going to be Thursday's pod. I think that the Eagles were obviously losers this weekend. Like their championship equity took a big knock. Seeing them get locked into the 7. Like their most likely draw now for round 1 is Green Bay. And then if they beat Green Bay, then they're hosting the Rams or the Vikings or the Lions, right? Like there are a lot of different iterations where the 5 seed comes to them in the second round of the playoffs. And then they're, probably on the road at the 1 seed. In the NFC Championship game. So like their path all of a sudden looks absolutely nasty. You're more bullish on the Eagles?
No, but I think you can replace that with any team in the NFC who doesn't get the 1 seed.
Sure.
It is going to be like whoever gets to the Super Bowl of the NFC will have earned it. Like you'll look back at those 2, maybe 3 wins and be like, Jesus, like this team put together a fucking ride here, because you're gonna have to beat either probably two elite offenses in Minnesota, Philadelphia, Washington, Detroit, Green Bay when they're playing well. The Rams offense has been kind of in the shitter for a few weeks, but they can certainly perk back to life. And obviously Tampa Bay didn't even get mentioned. They might have one of the scariest offenses of all right now, because they're just kind of slinging it with Baker, and it's really, really working. Even with Chris Godwin out, obviously Bucky Irving's been great. But yeah, whoever wins in the NFC is going through a fucking meat grinder.
Yeah. Which is I honestly,
I think that's why I think you were dead wrong. I think you were dead wrong in your estimate last week or last night. How much the 1 seed matters.
Oh, what was my estimate?
You said like 15, 20%. I think it's bigger this year in the NFC than, let's say, an average year of any of a playoff.
Here's why I'm
because
that low,
of the two games.
Yeah. Here's why I'm that low though. Is that I don't rate 1 to 7 all that differently. So
going to 5 is such a big deal. you know how we talked about it? It's not going like, oh, we didn't get the one seed,
right,
we got the 2 seed.
yeah.
Like,
But like
oh,
who,
that's
like what, like the most you could really give the Lions, I think at least the most you can give the Lions right now, championship equity, is in the like high 20s. I don't think it's higher than that, which means you can only lose as much as 20.
aren't they? What are they, like 4-1? That's probably about right then.
Yeah.
Um,
So they can't
yeah.
lose more than that, right?
No,
They still
well,
have 5%. So I'm thinking like, yeah, they
I
go from
didn't
like
think
20%
I
to
didn't think that's
5%.
how you worked it. I thought you
That was what I was talking about.
No, I know, but I thought you were saying like of that 20%, they lose a portion of that, like 15.
Oh, no.
10% of the 20 is
I was
2%.
literally just doing the delta between 20% win championship.
Oh, okay. So you're saying like 75% of their win equity then.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. Yes.
Of their portion of the pie.
Of their portion, yes.
Yeah,
of their
that's where I'm at. Okay.
They give up a lot of their plate.
We weren't
talking
on
about
the same page.
thing. I see.
You were speaking Greek. I was deep German.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what to make of the Lions right now, but this performance isn't really inspiring with the defense. And now, honestly, like what's going on with Gibbs's touch carry rate? He's up to 4 targets and 13 carries. Man, this is just full workload. Everybody's doing everything, and we don't care if Joey Bosa snaps Goff's ankle. Excuse me, Nick Bosa. My bad. I got my Bosas mixed up. My my brain is very, very vacation mode right now.
Full of rum and oh fuck! They kicked that field goal.
Did they make
it? How long was that?
They made it. Yeah, that was a big one. 57.
I'm playing against that kicker in fantasy.
Oh, we
in the championship. He's all I have left. He's all the other guys left. Like, so 50-yard field goals are worth 5 points. That was enormously bad for me. I don't even know what the prize money is. It's not like a big league. I just want to beat this stupid red-headed fucker.
Okay.
So essentially, I don't think I can give up anything else at this point.
Okay.
Not another field goal, certainly. Oh no, it's getting tight now. Gonna be one for the ages.
Things were going so good with that missed extra point earlier.
Oh, and they went for 2.
Yeah.
Kicking a fucking 50-yarder. God, Dan should have gone for it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, brutal sack for Andy. All right, let's any Super Bowl conference features? I mostly played division stuff.
Okay, here you go. Ready? I think there are 2 choices if you're going to make a future bet in the NFL right now. It is the Chiefs or the Ravens. And that is because there's imbalance in the 2 conferences. The NFC is going to, as we just talked about, is going to beat each other up, and it could get a surprise where a team that comes through is like, I would not rule out the Commanders. I would definitely not rule out the Bucks. Like somebody weird could come through the NFC, and you could have a pretty healthy spread in the Super Bowl in favor of Chiefs or Ravens, I think. And I actually I know I'm on an island here thinking that the Bills are overrated, but I can't wait to bet Ravens when they go on the road at Buffalo, if Buffalo's even there. Buffalo also has banana peel potential in my mind in the 2-7.
Banana peel, he says.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. We'll see how much I stick to this, but that's kind of my current thinking. I think the Ravens are absolutely elite, and the Chiefs might just back into this thing by, if the Ravens limp into Arrowhead for the AFC Championship game, they might just get them again. But yeah, I would say pick your fighter of those 2 AFC teams, and then let chaos reign in the NFC. If you want a longer shot future, I've done the math now enough. You're almost certainly going to do better off betting the rollover, and that is because the way the playoffs are structured. Even if you're the 1 seed, we're talking Super Bowl, you still got to do it yourself. You still got to win a couple coin flips. So I think there's only two realistic bets to be made, and otherwise you just play game by game. What is your opinion, Andy?
Yeah, it's going to be game by game stuff for me. Just the rollovers are always going to look better, especially in the NFC where the teams are all, like you said, there's not a huge gap between 1 through 7.
What's your one bet if you have to make it today with free money?
What's Tampa's price? I mean, it just seems like they can. Tampa's just Detroit, aren't they?
I know
The defense is full of holes, but it's a better quarterback. It's a better wide receiver one, maybe. I'm no disrespect to Detroit, but like it's a pretty good team. I gotta find where I made these bets a while back too. I gotta actually just open up a bunch of fucking sports books.
Wait, so what was your answer?
Tampa.
Tampa was 40-1 not that long ago. Don't ask me how I know. That's because I bet them. No, I think if I'm a must play something right this minute, it's Ravens Super Bowl. I think this is happening. I don't see.
Yeah, everyone's kind of scared off on the.
Do you see how aggressively they've been bet every week into the close? Like this team's going to be rated. They could be favored by. I'm going to say they could be favored by 2 to 2.5 points in Arrowhead in the AFC title game, and I would not be surprised. What do you think?
That's too much in Arrowhead. Oh, one. Saying they're like what 3 better on the neutral. I guess it depends how the Chiefs are playing.
Are the Chiefs better than a 4 or a 5 right now?
Man, I didn't even look at my numbers this week. You know why? Because they don't matter this week.
There's
so many games you can't look at your prices.
Fuck.
Was he?
He got picked, yeah.
That's not great.
No.
My Chiefs number is I'm like a 3.5.
Okay, and your Ravens number isn't higher.
It's coming up.
It's not like 7 or 8.
5.5.
Wow. Okay.
I think I got to bump the defensive up. The defense is up a little. I mean,
yeah. What they did in Houston on.
Oh yeah, Drew's wife picked Tampa Bay too, so kind of got to give her credit there.
Yeah. There's a little juju there. Yeah, I think it's Ravens in the 7-1 range if you can find them. Anyway, let's wrap. We're gonna need a stop here. We're gonna need Dan Campbell to kind of throw up the white flag. I don't know what I make of this. That actually, Kirby Joseph now I think has probably locked up the int title. I know that's
dirty player.
That's a much, everyone's kind of keyed on who's going to win the int title. Kirby Joseph now stands alone with 8 over Xavier McKinney 7. Who do you think wins DPOY out of curiosity? You got any idea?
That's a tough one because, like, I get some of the cases for Surtain, but like, it's so hard to give it to a corner just because he shuts people down. Like that's a hard one to put on paper and be like, look how little they throw at him. It feels like a corner needs some splash plays, even though he's very, very good. Maybe somebody does something big this weekend. Andrew Van Ginkel is an awful big price for, that's where I wonder about like Van Ginkel and Myles Garrett. If there is a heavy vote split, and some people are not wanting, like, just saying TJ Watt is not a name I can put high. I don't think he should be 1, 2, or 3. And they say I'm a Surtain guy, and the other people say, "Well, I'm a TJ Watt guy." If there's some splitting, I wonder about Garrett and Van Ginkel.
You know who has as many sacks as TJ Watt?
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Andrew Van Ginkel, yes. Yeah, it's wild, man. And he has one more touchdown than TJ Watt. And he has he has 2 more picks.
What if he gets some big plays? What if he gets a couple big plays in a very big standalone game?
Hey man, I would not complain about that at all. That would be way cool. I mean, apparently nobody can stop the Lions, but yeah, Lions are going to need to. The Lions are just practicing scoring 40 because that's what they're going to have to do in every remaining game this season.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, they can do it though. They just need the ball last. Is that too much to ask?
It is not. All right, I did find it. This is from. I placed a bunch at the same day, November 20th. So I bet the Seattle Seahawks to win the NFC West at 6-1. Did not win. But I also, the same day, took the Rams at 550. And then that was like right when Arizona started to get good. And I think I probably got better numbers. Commanders to win the East at a big number's a loser. I have Vikings 6-1 to win the North. No hedge. No worries. They got this. Baltimore plus 160 to win the AFC North. No hedge there either. They're huge favorites. That'd be silly. Broncos to make the playoff was even money. That was kind of a Colts was plus 180, and I bet them both, thinking like it's certainly not going to be Miami. So I'm going to be kind of sad if the Broncos miss because I thought that was just kind of a free Dutching.
Yeah,
that's kind of all I came up with. I was light on futures this year.
You can what you can do to cover your Broncos is just play Chiefs plus 9.
Yeah,
that's not crazy. I'm surprised that number is that big. There were some 10s today.
It does seem a little off.
10?
Yeah.
The backups for the Chiefs are fine. Wentz is fine.
Wentz is sluss.
Yeah, I'll go to war with Wentz. Dude, man.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm excited to go to war with him.
I'm not either, really. Okay, let's end this. I think we're in trouble with all of these second half looks. This is should just play the over, like you said. It's going to get there by the end of the third quarter.
What are you going to do? Yeah, there's a lot of scoring so far.
Yeah, we're up to 18 points. It's about to be 25. Yeah, it's going to get there. All right, man.
All right.
Well,
see you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day.